Welcome. I'm Jasmine Iru with another episode of Scope. Nancy Swanjo Waffi, a woman from a small village in East Sepik Province in Papua New Guinea, overcomes immense challenges and emerges as a symbol of hope. From witnessing her father's entrepreneurial spirit to surviving domestic violence, she demonstrates strength and finds solace in her Christian faith. This remarkable woman has overcome numerous challenges and emerged as a beacon of hope for others. A woman whose journey from a small village to the bustling city of Port Moresby and eventually to Australia has shaped her into a resilient and determined individual. Through her strength and unwavering faith, Nancy has not only transformed her own life, but has also become a source of inspiration for countless others. Join us as we delve into the life of a woman who defied the odds and continues to make a difference.
Our story begins in the humble village of Numburon, nestled in the East Sepik Province of Papua New Guinea. It is here that Nancy Swanjo Waffi, affectionately known as Auntie Nancy, was born and raised. Her father, a pioneering businessman in the region, earned the nickname Black Master during the colonial era as he stood out among the predominantly white European entrepreneurs. Auntie Nancy's father's influence and entrepreneurial spirit had a profound impact on her upbringing. Growing up as a village girl, she witnessed firsthand the hard work and dedication required to succeed in business. She and her siblings would help tend to their family garden, cultivating crops that they would later sell for income. She also collected coffee and cocoa, which further ingrained in her the importance of entrepreneurship and self-sustainability.
My name is Nancy Swanjo Waffi, and I come from a small village called Numburon in Yanguru, East Sepik Province. My life in Papua New Guinea as a kid, growing up, I grew up as a village girl, and my dad was was the first businessman in the East Sepik Province, and in those colonial times where people call white man white master.
As Nancy grew older, her ambitions led her to the capital city. Determined to excel academically, she pursued her studies and eventually graduated from the university with a degree in pharmacy. Nancy's journey took an unexpected turn when she met her husband, a medical doctor, and together they embarked on a new chapter of their lives. She and her now ex-husband had 7 children, and while her career was flourishing, their marriage faced profound challenges. Domestic violence became a recurring theme in her life, and it was through her Christian faith and the power of forgiveness that she found the strength to survive.
Now, life for me in PNG was very challenging. I had gone through very serious domestic violence. It was a matter of life and death for me. I believe if I hadn't been a Christian, I would be dead a long time ago, because I have knife mark here and I have marks all over my body due to domestic violence. Now, for me, I learned forgiveness as something very big for me. To be able to forgive was what made it possible for me to live on.
In 2015, an opportunity presented itself to Nancy to pursue further studies in Australia. Recognizing the dangers she faced if she were to return to Papua New Guinea, she made the difficult decision to stay in Australia and seek asylum for herself and her children. Armed with a deep desire to provide her children with a brighter future, she pursued and completed a master's degree in public health and business administration. Australia became her refuge, a place where she could start anew and protect her children from the violence they had experienced. The Australian government, recognizing the evidence of the physical and emotional harm she had endured, granted them the opportunity to remain. It was a lifeline, a chance for them to thrive and build a better life.
For me now, going back to PNG was something that I couldn't go back to. And raising 7 children single-handedly here in Australia was very challenging for me. I had to pay international student school fee to send my children to school, and being myself and no one there to help me was very challenging. And we couldn't get help with sending the kids to school. My children are very brilliant kids, and I wasn't able to send them to school. So I thought maybe I should do something. So I prayed about it, fasted and prayed about it, had a 21-day fast. And it was only after that that I started this. Now I have people in my church community here, very, very supportive. And I have a big sister in PNG, very supportive. And my colleagues that went back to PNG would buy me things and send just so I would start. And I started as a pop-up shop on December 18, 2019. 18th of December 2019 was when I first had a two tables for the start, and didn't know what to do. Just went out there by faith and set out there the pop-up shop during Christmas and starting to see so that I could put food on the table for my children.
Determined to provide for her children, Nancy embarked on a courageous endeavor. With the support of her church community and her sister in Papua New Guinea, she launched a pop-up shop in 2019 called Island Friends.
One of the reasons why I have these shops in here is that I realized that when people migrate from home to cities, or even cities to overseas like now, people tend to lose culture or contact with culture. And so there was a gap that needed to be bridged here as well, so I would bring traditional attires, or even I would bring the bilum bags and tell the story of each bilum bags to the people that come in to buy. Now, lots of people have PNG blood, but they are not able to go back to PNG. Island Friends, my shop here called Island Friends, is the one that closest they can relate to. This is where they come to get the attires and things, taste of home, biscuit, coffee, are all sold here.
Nancy's workload grew exponentially as she managed her 2 shops and organized seasonal ventures like the Calendar Club. Despite the challenges of being a single parent and financial constraints, her unwavering faith and the lessons of hard work instilled by her mother propelled her forward. Nancy's journey to Australia was just the beginning of her quest to make a difference. In addition to her entrepreneurial endeavors, she dedicated herself to various community projects. One of her notable contributions was in the remote region of Simbai, where she worked alongside organizations such as Youth with a Mission and Rotary. Her sister Leah Waffi is a seasoned traveler and a YWAM missionary. Motivated by the impact of their previous visit, Nancy sent bags of clothes to Simbai earlier this year. She received photographs from her sister revealing church elders who lacked proper attire. These elders had only a limited wardrobe saved for Sundays, often wearing a garment called malo that only covers the front and back, leaving the rest of their bodies exposed. To address this need, Nancy collaborated with a dedicated local team to gather and send clothes to Simbai.
Now, seeing those photos and stories has made me to sympathize, having empathy for them, and that's what I do, going out of my way. We have a group here in my family, a church family here called Streams International. They've been collecting clothes together with me and helping us to support. There's a team at Mariba. There's another group there collecting clothes and giving to us. They collect clothes and give, but Island Friends pay for the excess to send the clothes to Port Moresby and then onward to Simbai.
Rotary approached Nancy to share her business challenges and experiences. She also spoke of friendship bands.
This is one of the things we have. It's called friendship bands. Now, there's a lot of naughty kids hanging around here, like you would find it in other parts of the world as well. So what I do, I call these naughty kids. A lot of these kids here now, most kids here call me auntie. There's lots of them, and I've forgotten their names. I don't know their names, but if one call me auntie, I know they can relate to me. I help them to realize the direction they're taking in life. If they're going the wrong direction, I help to redirect them, give them direction, talk to them, just to be out there, showing them love. If they're stealing from my shop, I call them and I don't scold them, but I talk to them nicely and I help them not to do it again so they see it in a positive way.
After the break, Auntie Nancy's extraordinary story continues.
You know, I have shops in Townsville where I tend to do
Known for her kindness and helpfulness, Nancy Swanjo Waffi has touched the lives of individuals from diverse backgrounds. One such person is William Stark, a marine biology student at James Cook University who is inspired by the cultures of Papua New Guinea, particularly its birds and fish. Originally from Brisbane, William attended a school with a significant number of Papua New Guinean students. However, it was the PNG boys with whom he formed strong friendships with. Even after leaving school and moving to Townsville to pursue his studies, William's network primarily consisted of his mates, cousins. It was during this time that William came across Auntie Nancy at a local shopping center. His younger brother had given him a buka necklace, and when the necklace broke, he couldn't find a replacement anywhere except at Auntie Nancy's store.
Even before I met most of the community, I'd come across Auntie Nancy at one of the local shopping centres here, because when I was in grade 12, my little brother gave me a buka necklace similar to this one, and it was the only place I've ever seen that sold another one because my one broke. So I went up and like, hello auntie, can I please buy this? And from there, just got to know her, I guess. She's one of the nicest people, like full stop, I've ever met. Like it's like a little beacon of light. Yeah. She invited me to church, and I went to church with her. And then from there, I was going through a few struggles halfway through last year, and I just need a bit of guidance. And so I thought Auntie Nancy seems like a knowledgeable, wise, caring person. So I went there. She helped me out, set me on the right course. And I know it's not the first time she's done that for someone. It's almost like she has a sixth sense that she can tell if someone needs guidance or a bit of help. And she's always willing to do that.
William soon discovered that Auntie Nancy's kindness extended beyond him. He witnessed her reaching out to others in need.
We had a lady come from Madang, and her first day here, she knew no one in Australia, no one in Townsville, and she went to Stocklands, and she was sitting at the table, she was crying, and Auntie Nancy just it was almost a premonition just to walk over to this area, and she sat there and probably spoke to this lady for upwards of an hour and just reassured her that there is a community here who cares, and that she can be involved.
I'm actually working as the cultural ambassador. My job is to...
Aside from her community involvement, Auntie Nancy also serves as a cultural ambassador for the First Nation Writers Group, an organization dedicated to preserving and promoting Indigenous cultures through literature and storytelling. As an advocate for cultural preservation, she found a natural connection with First Nations writers, working together to amplify the voices of Indigenous peoples and share their rich traditions with the world. This was a collaborative effort to bridge the gap between cultures and foster greater understanding and appreciation.
The thing about it is that when our parents and grandparents die, we're kind of losing the stories, because our kind of environment or cultural environment is such that we don't write, but we paint, we draw, and we weave, and it's mouth-to-mouth conversation, passing on the stories. But when these people with the stories are dying, there's going to be no more mouth-to-mouth conversation or knowledge being handed down, or how to weave, the weaving skills, or the pattern behind each beloom and the story associated with it. So we get to ask if they can write it down. We'll help to print it out and send it out to the world. And by doing so, we'll preserve the stories in a written form. Now, the First Nations will not have the copyright to your story. You have your copyright, 100% yours. We're only providing the platform to help you get that published. That's what we do. That's what I do as for First Nations. That's what Island Friends does it with First Nations. It's just me and all my children included. We volunteer in doing that.
Auntie Nancy is currently working on writing 2 books that hold significant meaning in her life. The first one, titled My God, My Currency, revolves around her personal faith journey and the transformative power she has had on her existence. Throughout her trials and tribulations, she has always relied on God to overcome immense challenges that would have otherwise overwhelmed her. This book aims to serve as a guiding light for women out there, demonstrating the remarkable impact faith can have on one's life. By inviting them to embark on a similar faith walk and explore the wonders of God's teachings, she hopes to inspire and empower these women to navigate their own struggles with divine support. It chronicles the experience of trusting in God and His Word, even when faced with adversity, and witnessing the fulfillment of His promises in one's life. Her journey serves as testament to her exceptional character and dedication to creating positive change, and as her story unfolds, Auntie Nancy reminds us that every individual has the power to create a lasting impact in their own lives and the lives of others.
And so if we are not able to come out and work hard every day, no one will be able to fill in the gaps that was meant for us to fill. We know that other people are doing their parts to make this world a better place, and we believe that we also have a purpose to be here, and to fulfill that purpose, we have to come out to work every day and make a difference in the lives of the people in Papua New Guinea. One family at a time, one community at a time, even an individual at a time, because if you can change and help an individual, it's a ripple effect that can then on go to change one more person, and together we can make this world, or our country, or our communities, a better place to be in.
When we come back, PNG Kickboxing Federation brings attention to challenges for its boxers and international fighting opportunities that need support all around. The PNG Kickboxing Federation is preparing to send its fighters to the United States of America to participate in an international invitation championship fight for the first time post-COVID-19. The fight is set to be staged on August the 15th in Miami. Retired champion kickboxer, the headhunter Stanley Nandex, is banking his trust on 10 fighters, whom he will be taking to Miami. The president of the PNG Kickboxing Federation wants to give the fighters international exposure and at the same time commercialize the sport.
The trip to Miami, United States of America, is a perfect opportunity to expose kickboxing talents to the international market. President of the PNG Kickboxing Federation, Stanley Nandex, believes that taking PNG kickboxers to such events will increase their chances of securing promoters. When they reach that level, they can be able to sustain themselves through the promoters and raise the flag of PNG wherever they go.
I think this
this trip to US will transform and change the whole lives of all the fighters who are traveling, because there's an opportunity where we will be also meeting up with different promoters around the world. Will be there. So my idea is to target them. My idea is to send them out. For example, Jonathan Tu, one of our fighters doing match on an international scale, he's not coming back to look for sponsors because he's got a good promoters now. And I want everybody to be fair to have that kind of arrangement so that continuously we can ask or embark on sponsorships. If these fighters become more professionals, they can able to look after themselves, their families. Taking the fighters abroad is part of commercializing the sport in the country also. For a very long time, PNG has been fighting within Oceania region and Australia. Nandek said it is about time PNG looked beyond just gold and silver medals in the regional games. Nandex added that if the government is serious about investing in sports, it should consider commercializing the sport. There are always some good markets in Europe and America to sell kickboxers. Nandex regrets the time wasted in the prime of his career in amateur boxing, spending only a little time in professional boxing without realizing the advantage of professional boxing. He does not want this to happen to current young kickboxers. He has been preparing amateur kickboxers to participate in bouts at the professional level and against elite opponents. I think moving them from amateur to professional would be a good opportunity for them. There will be a lot of contacts very quickly, and I'm sure that they will already have the invitation sessions when they come back. So the road will be now open for them. I will be also in contact with those promoters to make sure that the arrangements are done properly, how long this arrangement is going to be, and so on. So it's a good, huge benefit. Preparation for the boxers starts on July 25th. Some fighters are already matched to their opponents, while others have yet to be matched. PNG kickboxers are challenged with training facilities and have reached out to PNG Defence Force to use their facilities at the Murray Barracks in Port Moresby. During the training program, they will start raising funds for the Miami event. A fundraising program is set. President Nandek said a fundraising dinner will be held on August 4th at the City Boutique Motel. A table will be going for 5,000 kina each. Corporate organizations have been given invites. Another fundraising will be at the Parry Club on August 5th. Fighters depart for the US on August 8th. Individual kickboxers have also been doing their own fundraisings. Each fighter is required to raise at least 15,000 kina. This is quite dear, hence the Federation President is urging the government, corporate entities and individuals to support the fundraisings. The total funding needed to attend this event is 180,000 kina. Our fundraisings for these events, we have scheduled 2 dates. One is the 4th. We have we have a corporate dinner at the City Boutique, which is we inviting the corporate companies to book on that one. It's only limited for 10 tables. It will go for 5,000 for 10 heads and 500 for per head. What we're doing is we have also given our target margin to each individual to raise. As far as the federation is concerned and doing is to also look at other avenues that we can raise. So how much we can raise from both individual and federation, we like to make sure that we have a team representing the country.
Acquiring passport and visa is another major hurdle for fighters. About 34 fighters were selected from the recent Clash of the Regions competition in June. Most of them cannot make the training camp because they do not have passports. Obtaining a passport is a lengthy process. Many had to withdraw from the training, which kicks off towards the end of August.
We hosted the event on the 8th of June, which selection was done. Out of the selection, we were supposed to have the fighters to compete in the European Championships that was in Italy, but we canceled that because of the large number of fighters who are unable to make it due to the passport, and visa is always been an issue. However, we were given another invitation to fight in US, which is on the 12th. That invitation is now allowing only 10 participants, only the senior ones and fighters who were also selected. and also who are able to travel because of the current passports and all that. Meantime, the Miami fight will put the country on the right track and set the tone for the next year's World Cup challenge in France. Selected fighters who do not make the Miami event are still in the team to be considered for the next year's World Cup challenge.
And that's another edition of Scope. Thank you for your company. Good night.